Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Joke Rogers. Coming up on the program, the Nigerian Army parades suspected Boko Haram members in Kogi State as Ondo and Akwa Ibom police commands parade kidnap and armed robbery suspects. Governor Al-Makura of Nasarawa State donates new buildings to the State Police Command to improve the welfare of security personnel. And the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons seeks cooperation of relevant stakeholders in curbing human trafficking and illegal migration. We begin in the health sector. The National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives have besieged the premises of the Federal Ministry of Health in Abuja for alleged discrimination against their members in government hospitals. The national president of the union, Mr. Wale Olatunde, told journalists that there is a selective implementation of government's policies on career progression for nurses and midwives in federal health institutions. The group is also calling on the federal government to investigate the finances of the ministry, as the reality is in most government hospitals is a far cry from the money spent by the government every year.
Each year we see them roll out millions upon millions of naira as budgetary allocation, and yet they continue to tell us it is not enough when actually the things on ground are not there. The basic things we should use as health practitioners are not there. Go to our various hospitals. There are things that are verifiable. The basic things that we need as nurses, not just nurses and other health professionals, are not there. And yet they keep raking in money all the time. Look at my colleagues here. They are on the field. Some have been denied promotion for over 12 years for not committing any offense. We went to court on some of these issues. The court gave us judgment. Since as long as 2012, this ministry refused to implement this court judgment. We are saying emphatically that most of our chief executives are corrupt. We are saying it emphatically. We stand to be proved wrong. Let them check their books, let them check their records, and let them prove us wrong. Come and scrutinize their books. Let us put our healthcare on the right path. Scrutinize them. Let us make sure that every kobo we are putting into health is used for what is expected to be used for. That is what we are asking for.
The federal government has filed fresh charges against the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, in the alleged non-declaration of assets trial at the Code of Conduct Tribunal. A further amendment by the federal government brings the charges to 18. The new charge is an alleged false declaration that he bought a property at number 15A McDonald Street, Ikoyi, Lagos, through his company, Carlisle Properties Limited, in 2003. When the said property was actually sold to GNC Real Estate Properties and Investment Company Limited. He is also accused of making false declaration that he acquired the properties through sales of agricultural commodities when it was purchased using a loan from a commercial bank. The Senate President has pleaded not guilty to all charges. And the Defense Headquarters has denied allegations leveled against it by the Amnesty International group, describing it as false and intended to tarnish the image of the Nigerian Army. In a statement signed by the Army spokesperson, Brigadier General Rabi Abubakar, the Army says, quote, "Without mincing words, the allegations contained in the said report are not only inconceivable, but also have no place in the Nigerian military. Inasmuch as the Nigerian military acknowledges and respects the views and constructive criticism of individuals, groups, or even international organizations, including Amnesty International, it will not fall for nor accept this deliberate falsehood." End of quote. The Army was accused by the Global Rights Watch of allegedly killing 240 persons in Borno State, northeast Nigeria, and 177 agitators of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Now we're staying with the efforts to curb crime, where the Nasarawa state government has donated newly built school of nursing and midwifery to the Nigerian police. Governor Al-Makura announced this after a joint Security and Executive Council meeting in Lafia, the state capital. He also reiterates the need for synergy between the State Security Council and the Executive to improve the welfare of personnel across the state.
Governor Al-Makura convenes the first Joint Security and Executive Council meeting to enable members of the constituted Executive Council discuss successes recorded in improving the state of security in the state and to chart new ways. The governor commends security personnel for their efforts in making the state's community-based conflict resolution mechanism a success and urges them to continue to sustain the tempo.
This community-based conflict resolution mechanism has worked so wonderfully, so marvelously, that we have been able to nip in the bud situation that could have become a state issue. I would want us to consider this as our template, and from time to time to ensure that we deploy this SPV in solving some of our problems.
After the sit-down session, the governor takes members of both council on a tour of the newly built School of Nursing, where he makes an unexpected announcement that excites the police chief.
I have decided that this School of Nursing, a new building, will be donated to the Nigerian police force to serve as the force headquarters of the state, where the Commissioner of Police and all other high-placed police officers supporting security activities in the state will be residing.
I believe this is more befitting compared to what we have now. And I'm quite sure we feel good about ourselves. If we feel good about ourselves, definitely we'll be able to put in our best. So we're grateful to His Excellency. We are looking forward to the fruition of this promise.
For Governor Al-Makura, the gesture is to continue to support security personnel in their duties and eventually rid the state of crime and criminals.
The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons and Other Related Matters, NAPTIP, is seeking collaborations with relevant stakeholders in the fight against human trafficking and illegal migration. The Benin Zonal Commander of NAPTIP, Mr. Odita Ebenezer, made this known while meeting with members of a non-governmental organization, the Initiative for Youth Awareness on Migration, Immigration, Development and Reintegration, in its office in Benin City, the Edo State capital. The meeting between the two focused on ways to intensify public awareness on the dangers of human trafficking.
Available data from the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons and Other Related Matters, NAPTIP, shows that human commodity trade, also known as human trafficking business, has continued to flourish, despite global efforts to curb the trend. It's against this background that NAPTIP is working in synergy with non-governmental organizations, NGOs, to intensify campaigns within the localities in Edo and Delta states as a home solution to the global menace. This meeting between the Zonal Commander NAPTIP Benin Zone, Mr. Odita Ebenezer, and the executive members of an NGO, the Initiative for Youth Awareness on Migration, Immigration, Development and Reintegration, in his office in Benin City, is aimed at identifying areas of collaboration against human trafficking and illegal migration and ways of fishing out those behind the act.
It's a need for us to let people know that even in Oredo here, in Edo South, you can also make it and become that man or woman you want to become in life is also a key. Because information management at this time is very critical. So we need to let them know that the grass they think is greener on the other side is not actually greener there.
Our program of events should go down to the grassroots. We go to the villages. Some of them now can't even speak English. Some of them don't know meaning of what they're asked to do. Or to come and travel. If we get to leave SS1 and travel, there's no sense.
With those strategies on the ground, the NAPTIP Benin Zonal Commander also declares that the agency has made tremendous progress in bringing to book perpetrators of the act in his zone, an area he described as a flashpoint.
Since I came, I've gotten 4 convictions, 4. The last one, we started the case. So I can boldly say that one I started and I got to the end of it. The principal of a secondary school brought a letter of protest from a girl of 15 years that the father wants her to go to Italy. He has made the arrangement that she's not bothered about school. He needs somebody that will build a house, buy cars, and you use the money to train the children.
As the meeting ends, the standpoint of this group and NAPTIP is that human trafficking and illegal migration can be reduced, if not wiped out, through sustained awareness campaigns and, importantly, youth empowerment.
No to human trafficking.
When news across Nigeria returns, the Bayelsa state government boosts the welfare of teachers. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.